Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if Krizia would like to take roll call?
Of course. I have Chair Olive Horning as excused today. Vice Chair Bobby Bryant also as excused. Member Patrice Campbell is also excused. I have Member Elizabeth Lamug as acting chair today.
Here.
Member Trevor Estill.
Present.
I have Member Tony Jones as excused. Member Carolina Rhodey.
Here.
Alternate 1, Russell Alexander.
Present.
Alternate number 2, Jaleesa Collins.
Present.
Thank you all.
All right, and do we have any opening business today? Okay, if not, we're going to move forward with approval of the minutes from September 12th, 2023. Anybody want to approve those?
Everyone had a chance to review them?
Did everyone have a chance to review these? Oh, no, they weren't here,
They
so.
weren't here, yeah. Still, I'll make a motion to approve the September 12th regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Second? All right, everybody, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the minutes have been approved for the September 12th, 2023 meeting. Does anybody want to discuss any old business today? No. If not, I will move on to new business, which is certificate appropriateness for 1111 Wisconsin Avenue.
One moment.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Stephanie Streeter. I'm Associate Planner for Community Development. Today we'll be presenting a Certificate of Appropriateness COA 23-00021, 1111 Wisconsin Avenue. So the background, the subject property is a 681 square foot building built in 1950 and maintained as a residential use. It is a contributing building in the historic district. The request is the applicant is requesting approval of certificate of appropriateness to modify the exterior appearance of the structure. The proposed scope of work on the north elevation is a creation of a 5-foot by 4-foot entry porch, installation of a 5-light wood entry door with horizontal glass panels, and an installation of a casement window. This is the existing north elevation, and this is the proposed. The proposed scope of work on the west elevation are 3 new casement windows, a smooth stucco finish on the wall, block windows and operable wood shutters on all windows, and paint colors for body and trim. If you would like to review the colors that he is proposing, it is in your attachment B in your staff report. And here's the example for the west elevation. The proposed scope of work on the east elevation is an installation of a new hurricane-rated 6x6x4 glass block window, replacement of a steel casement window to new hurricane-rated casement window, and an operable wood shutters on all windows, and paint colors for body and trim. Again, all of those details for the body and trim are in your attachment B. And here is the proposed. For the south elevation, there are no proposed changes at this time, and this is what it looks like currently. So the Secretary of Interior Standards for Rehabilitation Standards, they do apply for standard number 9 for new additions, exterior alterations, or new related construction on the same parcel of land shall not destroy historic materials that characterize the property. It also matches additional criteria for proportions of openings. And number 7, which is relationship of materials and textures. It does go into detail in your staff report if you would like to read further on those. Staff is recommending approval, and we would like to amend what it says on our slide. We have no conditions. We are just recommending approval of the COA 23-00021. And staff and the applicant are available for any questions.
So, hi. The only question that I have is in terms of the rhythm of the windows to walls ratio. I saw that there were changes that would alter that rhythm. So I wanna know what the board's opinion is on that.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm James Dalton. I live at 1111 Wisconsin Avenue.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm not sure specifically which windows you're referring to.
So on the north elevation, currently from the picture, if I'm remembering right, there are no windows.
Those are the original windows and they will stay the same.
No, that is the west elevation.
Oh, yeah, that's mislabeled. That's actually facing west.
That is correct. So we approached it, staff, on our PowerPoint as if it was north if you were facing the
Gotcha.
building.
Okay.
So it's the west if it was from the top of the bird's eye view.
Gotcha.
It's north if you're actually facing the
Gotcha,
building.
gotcha. So the one that's to the left of this current view.
Yeah, so that's what it'd look like if you're standing in front of the house.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
I
yeah.
think that was a little misnomer there,
That's okay.
mislabeling.
That happens.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just want to make sure it's okay with everybody on the board, that the ratio that's incoming looks a little bit different.
Is this the elevation you're referring to?
That's, okay.
Yeah, so
That's-
it's this one, I believe, that she's
Yeah, I think
inquiring about, because
that is the north elevation.
there are no windows currently
That's
on
correct.
that location.
Right, and the windows that were there previously, the previous owner actually closed in what was originally a porch, an open porch. And that was done in 1990, I think, based on the permits that were pulled. And the original window, not the original, the windows that he put in were, fairly modern. They were open like this, and they were aluminum, and they didn't look very.
I see.
And in addition to that, the actual porch walls were deteriorating. They were poorly constructed, infested with termites. It's amazing the thing didn't completely collapse. But since then, I replaced the wall and used, all treated lumber, 2x6, not 2x4, and replaced the, what do you call it?
Base?
The footing, right, yeah, and it's much better. So anyway, it is substantially stronger than it was before, and I still hadn't decided what windows I was going to put in, and I found these. And they are from the same manufacturer that is making the one that I'm going to replace on the east side. That was a vinyl window that I put in, and as it turned out, it was much later that I found out about all these new requirements. But however, I did find one that matches any of the 3-foot windows that are actually on the house right now. And these are from the same manufacturer, and they are also of the same character. So I think previously I had some glass block windows in there, and that was one of the changes I made. I think these are a lot better because you can open them for ventilation, and it's just better light, and I think they look much better personally.
Is that where the windows were before?
Yeah, he had actually 3 of them, and there aren't any pictures of that here because that was, when I first bought the place, it was 2011.
Yeah.
And I also did not know at that time that fixing things required a permit. But I'm working with Bob at the chief building officer. I have an architect I've hired who's going to work with me. I have all the plans that I drew up myself, but we are going to work together, and he's going to submit some plans to Bob to sort of get that cleared up. And this fall, or this spring, starting next month, I'm going to start getting into doing the bulk of the work. I have some plumbing I haven't finished yet. The windows are going to get installed in the porch, and the 2 exterior doors will be done by a general contractor. I have an electrician I've hired, and he will be doing all of the electric for me. So looking forward to finally getting this moving, because it's been a long haul.
Sounds good. Thanks for clarifying that.
Sure. Any other questions? Now, the other change that I made was from the previous plans I submitted. In the back, on the southeast side, there was originally an old stoop that had an exit door.
Yeah, I saw.
And I was going to close that off and put a water heater in, but I decided instead what I'll do is I'll use a tankless water heater, and then I can restore it back to its original condition.
Sounds good.
Yep. So I think this is a big improvement on what I had
Yeah,
from the
tankless sounds
get-go.
better.
Yeah, yeah. Any other? No?
Do we have any other questions?
No.
Let's see. Now, I believe, if I recall, the shutters we're not worried about because they can be removed, correct, Christine? Yeah, so that's not something, I don't know if you guys know that yet, but if it can be removed, it's not something we worry about. It's,
Now I do.
Actually, I'm going to make the shutters operational.
oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm actually an engineer by trade, so I do electronics, but, I'm kind of a fan of architecture, always have been. I was the one who drew up all the plans, so. But I'm going to build them so that they can actually close.
Okay.
And
They should still be removable if they can be closed, correct?
removable? I don't know. Why would you want them removable?
Not that I want them, I'm just verifying that they can be
I
removed.
suppose you could, yeah.
It's considered, yeah.
Yeah.
But why would you want to remove
Well,
them?
it's just that we don't, for our sake, we don't have to even make a determination on them. Like, because they may not be fitting of what was there, or what was previously historically there, but it doesn't matter because they can be removed.
Yeah, there were some shutters that were there previously when I bought the place. They were plastic, and they were just decorative. And I don't know when those were installed.
Well, that's what I'm saying, it doesn't matter.
Right.
because- So that's fine.
Right.
I,
But I do have some documentation books and pamphlets I've found that reflect this type of architecture, which, by the way, I didn't even know it was a type of architecture until I found out not too long ago that it's actually considered minimal traditional. And these were the properties that they were building, the tiny houses for the veterans of World War II in 1950.
Coming here after retirement.
Well, yeah, after they,
Yeah.
they were getting the GI Bill, and it was like this housing boom that was going on all over the country. And this was one of those examples. So now I know what it is, and, I plan on putting it back in its original condition as much as possible, anyway, so.
We appreciate it.
Okay.
So what kind of, you're gonna stucco the exterior?
Sorry?
You're gonna stucco
Yes,
the
sir.
exterior now? What type of stucco are you using?
The sand finish.
Sand finish?
Yep, that's exactly what is
Just,
normal for that type of house. I actually have a book that was published in 1950 called something to the effect of Design of Small Houses, but that's what it talks about. And there's also something I had submitted to Christine a while back. There is a publication that came out from Anaheim, California, that has pictures and characteristics of houses of that era.
Yeah.
And the types of stucco that were acceptable and the types that weren't. And the sand smooth finish is what is normally used for those types of houses, not anything else. So trying to keep it authentic.
Yeah, just plain, no kind of fancy.
No texture. It's just smooth finish. And if you want, I have, I can provide digital copies of any of this documentation if you want to see it. So
I know what you're talking about.
okay, all right.
I would love them just to learn.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of learning over the years. I actually have the 2 books that are published by the Department of the Interior, so I think I'm pretty well versed on the subject finally. So, anything else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to put forward the motion.
Okay.
I move to approve the request for modification to an existing single-family residential building, which include creation of an entry porch sized approximately 5 feet by 4 feet, and the installation of a 5 lightwood entry door, horizontal glass panels on the west elevation, installation of casement windows on the north elevation, installation of a 6-panel wood entry door, a casement window, and a block window on the east elevation, operational wood shutters on all windows, and paint colors for body and trim as reflected in attachments A and B at 1111 Wisconsin Avenue, based on a finding that the proposed alterations are in character with the size, scale, massing, design, and materials of the original building and its surrounding historic district.
Second the motion.
And what is it?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right, and opening up for any public comment. No public comment. I will go ahead and move to individual board comments. Jaleesa?
No.
Russell?
No.
Camila? No?
I'd just like to take the opportunity to welcome the new board members. Look forward to working with you.
Agreed.
Thank you.
All right. And our next meeting will be Tuesday, November 14th. Oh. Nope, I totally forgot that. Actually, we are going to go over the annual report that we didn't have time in the work session to go over.
Sorry to throw you from your
Should have wrote it down.
your carefully laid out plan there. Just real quick, so this is the annual report that we talked about in the work session, and we ran out of time. So I'm just going to go through this with you all real quick, and Chrysia will provide you with a copy. I think she may actually already have sent that over to you.
Christine, sorry to interrupt. Right here.
Oh.
You don't by any chance, are you going to put up a?
I don't know if we had the annual report in here.
Okay.
We did not.
Okay.
The what? So if it's not on the. Okay. Okay. If you just bear with us 1 second.
No problem.
On the, That's actually the CLG annual report that you all are going to look at in, that's the CLG annual report that you all are going to look at in November. It's on the work session presentation slide, so I don't know if Jay has an opportunity to switch back over. That's up to you, Tisha. You could always just put it on for the November meeting and go over it then. I was just trying to get you guys ahead of the game. Okay, so then I'm gonna. So then what will likely happen is Chrysia will give you a copy of that annual report to City Commission in advance of your next meeting. Just review it and then bring any comments that you might have. But basically, it's just an overview of what has been covered and completed by the board in the past year. So some of the things in your notebook, like the applications being upgraded or the plaques and awards program, that's in the annual report. So just take a look at that, and I guess you guys will go over that in the November meeting.
All right, if that is it, next meeting will be Tuesday, November 14th, 2023 at 6 p.m. and meeting is adjourned.